It's Sunday, which means I'm back on your screen. Welcome back to Don't Quote Me on That, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gabriela, and if you're coming back, I'm very happy to see you this week. Did everyone have an amazing week? I started my week kind of in a little mental rut. So that's what I'm going to debrief today and just sort of rant and tell you guys all of the thoughts that I had this week, the inner workings that I did, and basically my inner monologue. If you're new here, sorry, I skipped a couple of steps. We go through 6 different categories: body, mind, soul, adulting, relationships, and school. And today's episode is the mind category. So we're going to talk about our heads. And although our heads are a little cuckoo, a little whack, especially as a teenager, and trust me, it just gets worse the older you are because there's more knowledge in there, more things for you to think about. So it gets crazier the older you get. And trying to figure out our heads is something that I try to do every day. Try to figure out okay, what's going on in there? And how do I not let it get to me so much? Because our thoughts control basically everything that happens around us. A thought turns into emotions, emotions turn into actions. So let's talk about all of that. Woo!
Good morning. Can you talk? I really need coffee. I'm so stressed. I was up studying. I'm gonna be late to class. I'll call you later. I just want to be lazy right now. I should probably go to the gym. I'm hungry. Want to hang out? I don't know anyone going tonight. I'm kind of freaking out. Does this look good? It's gonna be so much fun though. I can't wait. And yeah, that's what I would do. Just don't quote me on that.
So my mental ruts usually start when I'm completely drained and the motivation's out for whatever reason. So this week I had a bunch of things to do for school. And that had me very stressed. And then the podcast and TikTok is something that I'm trying to grow actively. The podcast is something that I started a month ago, and TikTok is something that I started 9 months ago. So it's fairly new, but because it's new and I want it to grow, obviously, I'm putting all my effort into it. I spend all my day and hours working for it. And sometimes when you don't, when I don't get the results that I want, it's discouraging and it's not you don't feel motivated. So I was feeling kind of down for that a little bit. And then school and just kind of feeling sorry for myself, honestly. Just being I do a lot of things and it doesn't pay off and it's not going to work out. And going into this mental spiral of nothing that I do is good. And, just telling myself awful things and not being the nicest to myself and bringing myself down even more. One night I was by myself on Tuesday. I had a little night in by myself and I was okay, let's really think about this and let's figure it out. How are we going to fix this? Because I can't keep going into these mental spirals. And I know that it's something that I need to fix. No one can fix my thoughts. They're mine. It's my brain. It's something that I need to do. It's inner working that we need to do. So it's okay, let me figure it out. Let me debrief my brain and try to figure out how we can move on from this mental spiral. So I talked to myself a lot. And I thought of 3 things that I wanted to tell you guys about. So the first one was over the weekend when I was home in Miami with my parents. One night we were at dinner and we were with my parents and a couple of their friends too, and their friends' parents, whatever. It was a big table, adults and a bunch of adults, and just me sitting there. And we were there and they were talking about this other lady, my mom and her friend. And they were talking about this other lady who, whenever they asked her, oh, how are you doing? How's your day going? She would always be meh, it's going. Or you know what? Just hanging by a thread. Or just something very negative. People usually are I'm good. Go, I'm good. That's a typical response. But she was no, I'm awful. I'm bad, basically. And my mom and my friend were talking about how you shouldn't project that out there, not because you don't want people to know, and pretend and fake you're fine when you're not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't want to keep telling yourself that you're not okay, because if you tell yourself that enough, you'll believe it and it'll become your reality. And I was I just applied that to me. And I was the amount of times that my mom or my friends or somebody asks me how are you doing? How's your day going? And I'm good, but I'm so stressed and like I'm anxious because I have a midterm and like I haven't slept and I'm hungry and like I'm frustrated. Like I'm telling myself all of these emotions that sure, I might be feeling them, but if I keep telling myself and repeating like, Jesus, like I'm so stressed, I'm so anxious, like my day is awful, my day is going to be very stressful, anxious, and awful. So when they were talking about this thing with their friend, I was like, okay, I need to do that, not with the way people ask me, but in general for everything. Like whenever someone's like, how are you doing? Good. I have a lot of things to do, but good, I'll manage them and like I'll figure it out. You're still stressed. But if you keep telling yourself, you'll become more stressed. So that was the first thing that I was like, I need to change that. And it's something that I've been applying throughout this week. Because again, this was like Tuesday night, me sitting by myself, having a cup of tea, just like debriefing my brain. So, and I started applying it this week. I was like, I noticed myself doing it a lot. I noticed myself being like, oh, I'm so stressed. I have so many things to do. And like, what an awful day. It's raining, or, complaining and just telling myself how like awful of a time I was having. And whenever I caught myself doing that, I rephrased it. Immediately, I was like, okay, I'm stressed because I have a lot of things to do, but I have a lot of time. I'm going to figure it out. I'm capable of figuring it out and getting everything done on time. And if something needs to be postponed until tomorrow, it's okay, but I'm not going to stress. I'm calm. I'm fine. And I promise you, it helps so much. I've literally just done it for like the past 3 days, and I'm going to keep doing it because I decided that I was going to do that. I decided that I'm going to start changing my thoughts and changing what I say of how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. And again, guys, like, please, this is not fake it and like pretend like you're great. No, but kind of fake it till you make it. Yes. Like kind of like just keep saying like, it's a great day. When you start your day, you're not going to start it with, oh, I have so many things to do today. If that's the first thing you say, you're going to have an awful day. And I do that a lot. And I caught myself doing that a lot. So that's the first thing that I decided I was going to do. Number one, I'm going to keep working on that. The second thing that I decided I was going to do, which is kind of related to that, is starting my morning off with positive affirmations or positive things that I'm just reminding myself of. Because it's very easy to see like the glass half empty instead of half full. When we have a lot of things, we're very rushed. It's a busy world, got to keep moving, got to keep going, got to go to school, got to go to practice, got to go to work, whatever it is. It's a very fast-paced life. So a lot of the times we don't focus on, okay, look at all the things that I do have, rather than these are the assignments that I have to do today. And like, these are the things that I need to get done today. Just, okay, I have to get these things done. Sure, I'm going to do them. Let's not forget about them. They're important. We're going to be responsible. But I have all these other things that are going for me, whether I'm like paying attention to them or not. Oh my God, I'm stuck in traffic. Okay, I'm not going to focus on the fact that I'm stuck in traffic. I'm just going to think of, I'm in a car. I have a car. Like, I have a method of transportation. I have a car. It's the way you look at it. And my mom, I'll give her a lot of credit for that because she is the one that always tells me this. But it's really hard to put it into practice. It's really hard. And whenever I'm telling her, like, I'm like the girl stuck in traffic, complaining about the traffic, and I call her, I'm like, I'm stuck in traffic, whatever, da, da, da. She's like, you have a car. So I'm going to start my morning off by reminding myself of things that sometimes I forget about. And those things include, like, I'm capable of accomplishing the things that I set my mind to. That's one of them that I've been telling myself a lot. I'm going to tell you guys everything that I've been telling myself. One of them being like, I'm capable of accomplishing the things I set my mind to. Another one is things are going to happen at the right time. I don't know when that time is, but they're going to happen at the right time. I'm worthy of the things that I'm receiving because I put in a lot of work and a lot of effort. So I'm just picking up the fruits of my labor, and I'm proud of that. And I shouldn't feel like imposter syndrome and stuff like that. I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm confident, I'm smart, I'm beautiful. And those are things that I know. I'm aware of those things. Those are very simple things that are part of our everyday life. And because they're part of our everyday life, sometimes we forget to remind ourselves of them and we overlook them. We overlook the fact that we just took a shower when we had water, Instead of complaining about the fact that it was cold, you took a shower. Those little things, the little things that we forget to see. I'm going to make a huge and conscious effort to pay attention to them. I'm not going to complain about doing my laundry. I'm going to look at the fact that I have a bunch of clothes that I need to wash and how grateful I should be to have those clothes. And that's kind of perfect because this episode is leading up to Thanksgiving. Next week, which is the actual week of Thanksgiving, it's not going to be like a Thanksgiving episode. So I'll make this one the Thanksgiving episode because those are the tiny little things that we should be very grateful for that we don't look at. And I don't look at them sometimes. I'm guilty of them. I'm not perfect. Hello, I'm human. If you thought you were coming here to listen to someone who has it all figured out, wrong channel. I'm human. And again, this was the inner monologue of, okay, a lot of the times I don't pay attention to these little things. And it's just going to make my day a little bit brighter, actually a lot more brighter, if I just take 5 seconds to pay attention to those things. And in the morning is the perfect time. In the morning, and you don't need to write them down. I'm very lazy at writing them down. I've tried so many times, like a journal or like a gratitude journal, something like that. I can't for my life. Like I'll do it for a week and then I forget about it. But it does help me to just, first thing when I wake up, instead of grabbing my phone, I'll turn off my alarm. But instead of grabbing my phone, I just sit in my bed silently for like 5 seconds and 5 minutes, for 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm healthy. I just woke up. I have a roof over my head. I'm going to school. Very annoying, but I have an education. You know, I need to drive in traffic, but I have a car. I need to take my dog out in the cold, but I have a dog and how much joy he brings me. So I don't tell myself the bad parts. I just tell myself the good parts. But it was just to show you guys like the contrast. But that's what I've been doing in the morning, just the good things, reminding myself of all of the good things that I have. And it's a great way to start your morning. And that's why I think it's amazing to do it right when you wake up, obviously throughout the day. If you want to like keep doing it, please. Like I also like doing it at nighttime, just like reminding myself of it again before I go to bed. If I had like a rough day, it's been helping, but it's really good. Just the first thing to start your morning. And it ties in with the first thing that sets you off in the right tone. You're putting out there like good things and telling yourself good things. You're changing your brain's chemistry. If we constantly keep putting negative chemistry into our brain, well, that's the only thing it's going to deliver. But if we change it to the good thoughts, then we're going to have good emotions, good actions. Because thoughts turn into emotions, emotions turn into actions. That's the second thing. And then the third thing that I thought of, which was kind of like mind-boggling to me, because it took me back a lot of years. And I thought of someone who I haven't thought of in a really long time, and I cannot remember his name. So I'm very sorry. I can't remember his name, and it's going to make sense in a second. Sophomore year of high school, it was my first year at boarding school, and I had a chemistry teacher. I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I really want to give him credit because he deserves all the credit for what I'm about to say, but I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up because he was a really good science teacher too. I loved that class. I love science. But one of the first days of class, I remember it super clearly. And I thought about it on Tuesday for no reason. Like it's just like epiphany moment. You know, it was like a mind revelation. I thought of my teacher because the first or second day of school, he told us something. He sat us down and he was like, okay, class, you guys are going to sophomores, you know, next you're going to be juniors. Junior year is important. You need to be paying attention to school and college and thinking ahead. And he told us something that stuck with me clearly because he was like, there's 3 things in high school that as a teenager you think about and are like the things that you need to be doing: grades, friends, and sleep. And he told us, you can't have the 3 of them. No matter how hard you try, you can't have the 3 of them. Like, go ahead and try. Try. He was like, try it. You can't. It's impossible. If all you do is sleep and work, well, you're sleeping 8 hours minimum, and then you're going to class, and then you're studying, and then you're exercising because you have sports. When are you hanging out with friends? So friends is out. You can only have the 2. If all you're doing is sleeping and partying and going out with friends, well, when did you study? If all you do is study and see your friends, there's no time to sleep because you go from studying to the party. So it's impossible to have the 3. And he told us, he was like, you can try and break your brains all year long trying to like make the 3 work. You can't. You're going to have to give up 1 and you're going to have to choose which one's more important to you. Which one is the least important and give it up, and then which 2 are the priorities. And that day I was like, okay. And I made my decision in high school. I made the decision of, unfortunately, grades and friends. So and that's why I didn't sleep a lot in high school. And high school was very hard mental health wise because of the sleep factor that I didn't have. Basically, that's like irrelevant. So that's what Mr. Chemistry teacher, let's call him Mr. Chem. So that's what Mr. Chem told me sophomore year of high school. Sophomore year of high school, Mr. Chem told me to choose which one I was going to give up. And now, a couple of years later, now that I am 20 and in college, and last Tuesday thinking by myself, the inner monologue was, okay, these 3 categories, what if I branch them out to 3 areas of my life? Grades, the grade category. What if instead of grades, you just change the word to work, school, career, future, plans, goals, ambitions, right? That's this big category. Then there's the category of friends. Friends, what if we change the word of friends to partying, traveling, leisure time, watching TV, hanging out, having fun, living life. Romantic relationships, this is the second category. And then the third category, sleep. What if we change the word from sleep to alone time? Sleep, because sleep is important. Sports, exercising, meditating, yoga, taking care of ourselves, self-care, wellness, anything that has to do with ourselves. So if we branch out these 3 simple things Mr. Kem said, grades, friends, and sleep, if we branch them out to these 3 huge areas of our life, which basically encompass all of our lives, that's why life is imperfect. Because you can't make all 3 categories work at the same time. You can't go partying and have this crazy life, but then be a responsible adult and show up to work and then also get 8 hours of sleep and go to the gym, which takes up 2 hours. You can't. And that's why it's kind of exhausting to try to do everything, because we're trying to constantly balance and constantly try to do a little bit of here and here. And that's why life isn't perfect. I mean, I feel like that's something that we all know, that life isn't perfect. But that was my epiphany and revelation on Tuesday. I was like, life isn't perfect because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, basically. It doesn't work. And I try every single day to make all 3 categories work. I try to go to school and have good grades, which means I need to study. But then I also want to spend time with my boyfriend, but I need to take my dog out. But I also want to spend time with my friends. I also want to exercise. I also want to spend time by myself. And then I'm also working on a podcast. I'm also working on TikTok, which means I need to edit them, which means I need to film them, and cleaning and eating and living, the basic things that you need to take a couple of hours in your day to do, getting ready, showering. It doesn't work. And if you're telling me that the conclusion that I'm coming to is that you need to give one up, no, I don't think you need to give one up. I don't think you need to give one up, because I've tried doing that. I've tried just focusing on my school and my grades and my career and my friends, and seeing my friends, being in my 20s, hanging out, being a teenager, living life. Whenever I do that, I go mentally insane because I haven't been taking care of myself. I haven't been getting good sleep, eating properly, taking care of myself, exercising. When I let that part of my life go, I go insane. Mentally, I fall apart. But then if I'm taking a lot of care of myself and I'm spending a lot of time by myself, reading, being outside, and focusing on career and everything, and then I don't see my friends, I get so sad and depressed and alone, and I'm miserable too. So I've tried doing it. I've tried just doing 2, and it doesn't work. We need the 3, right? We need the 3, and life is the 3 categories. So no, I'm not saying give one up, Mr. Kem. We're not going to follow your analogy of giving one up. I guess in high school you could give one up, between friends, grades, and sleep. But in life, where I'm taking it to, this big category of life, in life, don't give one up, but just know that you can't make the 3 work. You can't. And that's why life isn't perfect. And I'm a perfectionist, guys, a huge perfectionist and control freak. And I've always been the type to have a plan, not even a 5-year plan, a 30-year plan. plan A, B, and C, just in case one of them goes wrong. Because God forbid, I need to have a backup. That's how much of like a perfectionist and a planner I am. And recently I'm going to change that. Like, I'm like, no, no, I'm changing that because I'm realizing that I'm like, no matter how hard I try to make everything work, to have everything under control, to follow that plan, it's going to fall out of line and it's not going to work. I can't balance the three of them out. No one can. We can try our hardest and do our best every day to get there, to have a good and like proper balance between the three of them. And that's why life is a balance, because it's all a matter of trying to balance those three out. But what life isn't is perfect. And perfect means getting the three of them right at the same time and like controlling all of them. You can't. We can try our hardest to get there, but it's not going to work because life is imperfect. And the faster we understand this, the easier it is. I've spent the past couple of years of my life refusing to accept that. Refusing to accept the fact that it's not going to work out exactly how I want it. That all of those dreams and plans and everything, and I'm not saying you can't accomplish your dreams and plans, but it's not going to happen step by step the way you wanted it to. No. The goal, you might get there. The ultimate goal, you're capable of getting there. But the plan along the way, you're in no control of that. And that for me has been the hardest thing to accept. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I have a fire plan. It's pretty good in my head. Like it's pretty nice. So I refuse to give it up, and give it up means accepting the fact that it's just that life isn't perfect and I can't plan it. I can't control it. It's going to do whatever it wants. It's going to do the best for me. Yes, but not exactly what I want. And I can balance the three, but I can't do the three at the same time. Life isn't perfect. It's not. So thanks to Mr. Kem, who I hadn't thought of in years until Tuesday night, when I thought of him and his saying and his phrase. And I was like, wow, Mr. Kem, you were right all along. There's a little floof flying around. Mr. Kem was right. My chemistry teacher in sophomore year of high school. Who would have thought he had my whole life revelation? So that's the third conclusion I had this week, and the third revelation. I was like, that's why life is imperfect. So I'm giving up on trying to make it perfect. I'm going to give up on trying to balance the three of them and do it perfectly. Like, nope, sorry. If one day I couldn't see my friends, couldn't see them, I don't have time for that one day. But then one day I didn't have time to take care of myself. Okay, one time I don't have time for that. And then another day I don't have time for work. That's okay. You're going to have to give one up every day, basically. It's a matter of one day I give up this one and one day I give up this one. And overall, through the years, you have a good balance of it. But in one day, you can't do everything. You can't do everything. Life's just not perfect like that, which has been very hard for me to accept. So those are the three things that I told myself this week and that I inner monologued myself with. And the three things that I decided to change and to start doing. So just to run through the three really quickly that I'm personally going to be doing and I decided that I'm going to be doing. Number one, constantly change the phrasing of what I'm saying about how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. Change the phrase. Instead of stressed, anxious, worried, sad, lonely, I'm going to change that word. Fake it till I make it, literally. Second one. Start my morning off, sitting in bed, sitting outside, whatever you want. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes of these are all the things that I have. It's a moment to be thankful. It's a moment to just remind yourself of those things that you overlook that you should be super grateful about. Again, guilty as charged. So I'm going to do that every single morning. And the third one is finally accept the fact that I cannot have sleep, friends, and school branched out. I can't have the three of them at the same time. So I'm going to stop trying to make it perfect and just accept the fact that it's not. And I'm going to enjoy all of its flaws because that's what makes life life. Now, I don't know if you guys think that I'm crazy for thinking all of those things, but that's my head. And Maybe some of you think the same way. And if you do, that is the conclusion I came to. If you don't, thanks for listening. And thanks for listening to me rant and just share what's been in my head this week. That's the cuckoo-ness in there. And trust me, I'm applying them. Trust me that I'm applying them. Yesterday when my mom called me, and same thing. She called me and she asked me, how are you doing? I was about to respond with anxious, stressed, whatever. I had a lot of things to do because I did have 2 quizzes this week, a project, because it's the week before Thanksgiving break. So teachers are going crazy. And before I went there, I was like, I'm okay. I'm good. I feel like I have had a very long day and I'm a little bit tired, but I'm going to keep studying and then I'm going to go to bed and I'm good. And, I'm telling you, it actually helps. It actually helps. This morning, I went on a little walk with my dog, and on the little walk the entire time, I was just, I'm alive. Look at the trees around me. It's super sunny. I have clothes on my body. Small things, small little things. And it sets your day in just the best attitude. You start your day with the best attitude, I promise you. And then even Mr. Kem's theory, I applied today. Because I didn't have a lot of work to do and I was freaking out about it. I have a problem with relaxing sometimes because I think I'm being lazy. And I didn't have a lot of work. I didn't have a lot of things to do. And that was stressing me. I wanted to see my friends. I wanted to see everything. And I was like, I can't today. Today is a day where I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm going to watch my TV show. And then I'm not even going to do my makeup. I'm not going to get ready. I'm still in my pajamas. By the way. I'm still in my pajamas. I need to shower. Don't tell anyone. And I was like, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to have a lazy day and that's okay. Not every day has to be a day where I'm productive as crap. Today is my chill day and life isn't perfect. That's the attitude I'm adopting from now on. And I'm very excited about it. And I think it's just a matter of us wanting to change for the better. And it's effort that we need to put. No one is going to change my thoughts unless I make a conscious effort to make them. And on Tuesday, on my mental rut, I decided that I'm going to take action. And only you can decide to take action. So take action with me. Maybe you can start implementing some of those things too. If you prefer to write things down, you can do a little gratitude journal where you do the grateful thing, changing your words, accepting the fact that life's not perfect. I don't know, do it with me. And those are cool things that I'm implementing into my life. And I just wanted to share them and also share just my mental rut because it was kind of driving me insane. And you guys are a good place for me to talk and debrief. So thank you for listening and hearing me rant about all those things, all the things that I'm going to do differently from now on to make myself a better person every day because that's what I want to become, better person every day. And before I go, I just wanted to tell you guys that one of those little things that I am very grateful for, and especially now that Thanksgiving's coming up, you guys need to know this. I'm very, very grateful for your support. I'm very grateful for the fact that you guys are here watching my videos, liking, commenting, subscribing, whether it's just for the podcast and on YouTube and Spotify, or if it's more for TikTok, whatever it is, the fact that you guys are watching me and supporting me, it means so much to me, genuinely. Watching this community grow, making it bigger and stronger every day, it fills me up. And nothing makes me happier than when I get a message from you guys or a DM telling me how much you loved an episode, how much it helped you, telling me about a piece of advice that you applied and how much it helped you, or simply just ranting and telling me about your days, or asking me about makeup. But just whenever I get a chance to interact with you guys, interacting with me is my favorite part. It means so much to me. Really, it means a lot. And when you guys DM me and tell me how much I should keep doing this and keep posting, it's very encouraging. It's very encouraging. And it reminds me of why I'm doing this and why I'm doing the things I'm doing. It's because I love doing it. It makes me really happy to set up this lighting equipment and to sit here and to talk to you guys and to film a TikTok and do my makeup, and those things make me really happy. And it makes me really happy to be able to create this podcast, which I believe is more than just entertainment, but it provides both entertainment and value to you guys. Your encouragement means a lot and your support means a lot. And I'm very, very grateful for every single one of you. It means a lot. So don't quote me on that. You guys are definitely one of those things that I wake up every morning and I'm like, thank you for every single one of you, because it means a lot. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone stays safe during the holidays, during the break. I'm going to be off in vacation mode. So I'm going to be MIA. No, I'm kidding. I'll be posting. But next week's episode is going to get filmed in the Caribbean. So that's going to be a very fun episode. This one, I'm in bed. I'm lazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll talk next Sunday. And yeah, thanks for listening to my crazy brain. I love you guys.